with HD. Hungry? Well, you may just be after this, because it's time for Food Chat with HD.
Hey, this is Gene. You're watching After Show Chat.
No, Gene. We are not watching After Show Chat. Yeah. Thanks anyway, Gene. Jump. All right, gang. It's out. I have the Food Chat. I have my wrong background on. What's wrong with me? I thought I had everything set up, but I even have my wrong background up over here. What's going on? And I thought I was a pro. Oh well, what can I do? There we go. I'm so used to being on After Show Chat, and I forget this is Food Chat with HD. Got my mic right in front of me, so I look professional, even though I messed up and put the wrong background. Shame. All right, gang, it's Food Chat with HD, and I'm ready to talk food. All right, now we got a lot to cover today. I try to keep if you watch After Show Chat, I try to keep this show about 30 minutes or so. And if you can't catch us live, we go live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Well, you know that because you're right here right now. But this show is up. This show is gonna be up forever and ever. So if you miss it today, you're gonna be able to watch it anytime you want. All right, gang. It was a long weekend for me. I had my 40th. Can you believe that 40th class reunion this weekend? And but even though I had my 40th class reunion, I still managed to go eat at two places this weekend. One I'm going to talk about, and one I didn't put up the review yet, but we're going to talk about the one I went eat at Saturday in a little bit. Because first off, I want to talk about the place. What I'm going to do, usually I do the good and bad or whatnot, but this is the way I want to do things tonight. I'm going to talk about a place that I went eat 2 weeks ago, because I've just put up the review this past weekend. And that was a place in Slidell. It is a place called Rotolo's, and it's craft and crust. I always get mixed up if it's because there is a Rotolo's chain. It's a chain, local chain pizza place in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and then there's a Rotolo's craft and crust. I think it is, or something like that, or crust. One of the two. I get them mixed up. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I got a message in blue, and I lost my train of thought. So we went to eat at Rotolo's. Now look, full disclosure, I won a pizza at Rotolo's on Instagram, and I won the pizza of the month over there. And that particular day when we were going to Slidell, I stopped at another place. I stopped at Cracker Barrel and had lunch because I had free food over there. We went to Mississippi, do what we need to do, and I came back and we ate a second lunch in Rotolo's. Wow. And we got the free pizza of the month over there. Now, when I won, they weren't aware of it, even though the Rotolo's told me, they told the manager at that place that I was going to get my free pizza that day. But those things happen, and they did honor it. So basically, it's your regular pizza little place. I mean, I honestly gave it a well, here's the outside over here. It was okay. I mean, I mean, there's the outside. It's Rotolo's craft and crust. I always get mixed up if it's crust first or craft first. I get mixed up. But there's the outside. Very empty place when we went. We got the pizza of the month, which was the Hatch chili pizza. Hatch chili pizza. It was decent. I mean, it was good. There was nothing wrong with it. I think they could have used a little bit more meat on there. but it wasn't a red sauce pizza. It was more of a cream based sauce pizza. Oh, that board was A+ there, Gene. That board was A+. They went all out, and I should have reviewed the food from that reunion. Oh my goodness. Um, that would have got A+. But the pizza I found, I needed maybe could have used a little bit more meat on there. It was all right. It was decent. I'll be honest with you. I think we both gave it. Me and Mrs. D gave it a B. Yeah, we gave it each a B. Uh, I mean, if I'm gonna eat pizza, it's not a place, and the inside was pretty nice, but it's empty. We went about 2:30 or so in the afternoon, eat our second lunch, and it was empty. And they had some loud workers behind us just sitting around cutting up. Well, no, it wasn't chewy, Gene. The crust was it was crispy, especially it was crispy. It wasn't chewy. Um, it wasn't. It was decent. But again, if I'm gonna go eat pizza, I'd go probably pick a different place. That would be a chance. I'd go to like maybe a local pizza place or something. Because Rotolo's is basically a chain. I know, and my daughter loves Rotolo's, and I've had hit and misses with Rotolo's, and this time it was a B. Nothing wrong with it, nothing outstanding, but it was a standard B. For Rotolo's. So now, gang, before I move on to my next place I want to talk about, because when I'm going to talk about this place, I'm going to probably spend a good bit of time on talking about this place. If you live on the Bayou Lafourche, most of my peeps, that's where I live, Bayou Lafourche. Gene knows about this place. We got some sad news yesterday. There is a Chinese restaurant around here, and it's called Happy Gardens. They have been around since 1997. Now, there used to be a different Chinese restaurant before 1997. I think it was Chinese Gardens, maybe. I really don't remember what it was before that. But the one before, when me and my wife first got married, we were struggling, and going eat at that Chinese restaurant was a treat. And I think in 1997, Miss Linda, who never accepted me as her friend on Facebook, only tried for a good long time, but that's besides the point. So Miss Linda, and I think it was her brother, opened the place in 1997. Now she lost a brother, and it was a staple down here. You're right, G. Miss Linda, who is not my friend and would not partake and accept my friend request, even though I'd be in there all the time and she would know me by my name. But she knew everybody by their name. She was a real nice. She is. I'm not. What she is a real nice lady. But out of the blue, Sunday night, they decided to close up. No advance notice. No, the servers were shocked. Everybody was shocked that Happy Gardens shut down. Again, the food was what it was over there. I mean, it was a buffet. I never liked. I never particularly. I liked the buffet over there. Be honest with you, but there was some amazing lunch specials that I would get. Now, some people love the Happy Gardens buffet. Some people they live by the Happy Gardens buffet. Me, I preferred to order off the menu. I found the food was fresher, and the prices were good, especially for those lunch specials. And it's again, that's really the only Chinese restaurant. Now, we had some in the past, and they all either went away or they shut down. So that was really the last Chinese. Well, there is Mama's Kitchen that does serve Chinese dishes, but it's not the same. That's takeout, and you really can't eat inside. But for a strictly Chinese restaurant, that was the last one down here, and it's scary because a lot more and more places are shutting down, and you don't want this town to become a ghost town. But for whatever reason, I think Miss Linda is just tired. She worked hard. She's the kind of person, if you'd go inside Happy Gardens, she would be working. If she took a day off, probably Happy Gardens would be closed that day, you know. Well, especially now after her brother passed away. But anyway, so it's the talk of the town right now, the Bayou, you know. Everybody's upset that Happy Gardens has shut down. So I wanted to pay tribute because you know me, HD. I have humor. I like to do things differently. And I wanted to pay tribute to Happy Gardens in an after show chat way. So I'm going to put this up on Facebook after for all my Bayou peeps to see or my friends to see. Hopefully it'll get shared around. But this is to our local Chinese place, Happy Gardens. Yeah, I know you take it for granted, Steve. You know, you think it's going to be there forever, and then one day it's gone. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Because we always thought Happy Gardens would be around forever, but as of Sunday night, it is no longer there. So here's a little tribute to Miss Linda, who is not my Facebook friend because she never accepted my friend request. Not that I'm bitter. And here is the Happy Garden tribute. Enjoy. There are some places that you think will be around forever. Because of that mindset, you sometimes take them for granted. Happy Gardens Chinese restaurant in La Rose, Louisiana was one such place. Countless families and a whole generation of young people have grown up with Happy Gardens as a staple in their lives. Walking into Happy Gardens was like walking into a comfortable home. You'd walk in and you'd surely see someone that you haven't seen in forever. Some people went for the bountiful buffet offered. Others, like HD and Mrs. D, preferred the amazingly priced lunch specials offered, while others loved to order many different dishes for dinner. Whichever you chose, you knew Miss Linda would be there with a friendly smile and remember your name and make you feel like family. Countless pictures of generations of young ones line the wall near the register, making you feel even more at home. And as you walked in, there was a sign that was a gentle reminder to pull your pants up or you would get no service. People didn't want to believe the rumors on Monday, September 29th, that the place was closing. But before long, the news was confirmed. Happy Gardens closed forever on Sunday, September 28th. And never will anyone enjoy a succulent Chinese dinner there ever again. Godspeed, Miss Linda, and the entire staff. Godspeed. And thanks for years and years of food and memories. No more succulent Chinese dinners at Happy Garden. If you know, you know. All right. All right, gang. No more Happy Gardens. Sorry, Bayou folks. Oh, that. Oh, thank you, Gene. And Gene knows every time I get Chinese food from Happy Gardens, I would always snap a picture for Gene to enjoy the food through pictures. And the food prices were incredible whenever you'd go get those lunches. I mean, like $8 for like those lunches. I mean, they were jam-packed of food. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. And what my biggest fear is, I'm sure maybe somebody's gonna buy the building if they put it up for sale. And my biggest thing is, and no, I mean, Mexican food's fine, but yes, it was the best deal on the Bayou for sure. But my worries is somebody's gonna buy it and open up another Mexican restaurant, which we have about 6 of them right in the same area, and it'll be the choices are going to be more and more limited to eat out over here. But Godspeed, Happy Gardens. Godspeed, Miss Linda. Now you have more time, Miss Linda. You could friend me. You have more time to watch after show chat. You should friend me. All right. If Linda's watching, you can friend me. All right. Enough of that tomfoolery. All right. Not tomfoolery. We're going to miss Happy Gardens, but let's move on. Gang. Let's move on to the review I put up this morning. That's really blowing up. It's getting some good views on this, and some good comments. You never know there, Gene. I tagged Miss Linda. I'm sure she's going to see the video. I'm sure Miss Linda's going to see the video. I think it's going to blow up in the Bayou, and people are going to share it a lot. So let's move on to where I went eat Saturday. I woke up I went to my class reunion on Friday night. I woke up. I made it a point to go eat someplace. And last week, you saw, if you were watching Food Chat, they had a guy come in our chat, Chef Blaine, and he said, you got to go eat at Parenton's. You got to go eat at This guy's been bugging me. You got to go eat at Parenton's. You got to go try the oyster with shrimp po' boy at Parenton. So last Saturday, I said, no, I'm going to go. So this past Saturday, I went eat at Parenton's. And I'm going to tell you, gang, if you didn't watch the review yet, these are some spoilers over here. Chef Blaine was not lying. That had to be one of the best. I'll put it up there. The top oyster po' boy I ever had. It was that great. It was like $11, I think, maybe, or so. I had an oyster po' boy and a shrimp po' boy, and the total came to $23. And you're going to see in these pictures how big, and you can see in the review how big these oyster po' boys and shrimp po' boys are. Now, but look, gang, I'm going to talk about this first. When I got to this place, I thought, oh my God, where did this Chef Blaine send me? It is in a neighborhood. Talk about a neighborhood. I know Gina knows about Happy Gardens. I'm sure Gina ate at Happy Gardens many a times. Gina, were you more of a buffet at Happy Gardens, or did y'all take order off the menu? I'm curious. That is a definition of a joint there, Gene. You are right. I almost did not go. I'll be 100% honest. I'm like, wait a minute. This is smack dab in a neighborhood. I did not know where I was going to park. I thought that it's next door is a house, it looks like. And it looks like nothing. And I was like, man, where did this Chef Blaine send me to? I never heard of this place. Oh, he don't like me. He sent me to this place. But here's the parking situation over there, which they had parking after. I passed it up. I didn't know about but you see, it's right against these people's house right here. I'm assuming that's a house right there. So you're parked right against these people's homes right here. It's a weird situation. I never ran into a situation like this. They ordered. Gina ordered the buffet and ordered oh wow. So I found a place to park, And I walked in. And when you walk in, I mean, it's a joint. It is and I keep on saying that it is a joint. It really is. Um, and you walk in and there, oh, that's not it. That's Rotolo's. What in the world, HD? What are you doing? Oh, boy. Need a producer. There's the inside of Parenton's. Right over here. Now you go up to the counter over there. You see at the end over there, there's a counter. That's where you go order. Now the owner is Miss Brenda, and Miss Brenda's behind the counter over there. So that's the little Parenton's. You walk in, and I didn't know. I went up to the counter. I said, "Do I sit down or do I order at the counter?" And I didn't know her name at first, but she said, "What do you need?" And I said, "I need some food." No, I didn't say that. Let me see. I have another picture of the inside. Maybe I did it. Name this one. Let me see if this is it. Over here. Oh, no, that's the pull boy. I'm sorry, gang. I'm sorry. Here's the inside over here. So I went in and I ordered. I asked. In fact, I even asked. I don't see my other picture. Maybe. Oh, there it is. I even asked Miss Brenda, the owner. I said, and there's the other wall over here. After you walk in, and you see, there's all kind of posters up. Yeah, I just ate there a couple of weeks ago too, Gina, and I don't think nobody knew. I don't even think the owners. I mean, I don't even think the servers knew. It came as a surprise to everybody, but it really did. But the walls are covered with all kind of New Orleans stuff on there and whatnot. And so I went to the counter and I asked the owner, Miss Brenda, again, not knowing who she was at the time. I thought she was just a worker. And I said, I'm gonna try. I'd like to try the oyster and the shrimp. I said, "Oh, the oyster is good right now." And Miss Brenda, the owner, said, "Darling," she said, "we have the best oysters around. And I tell you what, if you don't like my oyster pull boy, I'm going to buy it from you." Whoa, that's some strong words from somebody at a restaurant. If I don't like my oyster pull boy, you're going to buy it from me? Good, I'm going to sell it to you for $50. No. No, but that's how confident she was. So, and then she said, "That's a lot of food." I said, "Yeah, I know. My wife could come, and I want to try both of them, though." I said, "And I'm gonna bring some home to my wife." And all while I was eating, she was really worried about my wife. She really wanted to make sure my wife had some food. She didn't want to make sure I didn't eat it all. You know, she whenever I was leaving, she said, "You have some food for your wife, huh? You have some, yeah, I have some food for my wife." So I got the food, and let me tell you guys. You know, I eat a lot of shrimp pull boys. I eat a lot of oyster pull boys, and that's my two go-tos. And this oyster pull boy was, and again, it's hard for me to remember all the oyster pull boys I ever eat in my life, but this was top, if not the best oyster pull boy I ever had in my life. It was full. It was jam-packed with oysters. They had oysters coming out, I don't know what. And then we had the shrimp. I had the shrimp pull boy too. So I ate all the oyster pull boy and I ate half the shrimp pull boy. So I made a pig out of myself. And it was fantastic. And I could not believe it. And here's the shrimp right here that were in the pull boys, all the stuff. And look at the size of that beautiful shrimp. It was awesome. Awesome. So now while I was eating, I heard Miss Brenda training a new employee. And she was telling the employee, "Look, whenever you make these pull boys, I'd rather you put too much in a pull boy than not enough." She said, "Because I don't want our customers to be mad. I'd rather you put too much. If you're questioning it, put too much." Nobody ever says that, gang. Nowadays, nobody ever says that. Then Miss Brenda, I went to talk to her. And she said she don't make a lot of money in the restaurant. She says, but her customers are important to her. And she wants to make sure everybody is happy. She has regular people. I saw people coming in. They were asking, "Oh, Miss Brenda, you been okay? You been doing okay? You were sick for a little while, you know." So people, is regular people coming in, rolling in there. And Miss Brenda said, when the oyster prices went up, she had to go up in her prices in oysters on the oyster po' boys. She said after, she knew my name after that. She said, Harold, whenever the oyster prices went down, I went down on the prices on my menu. You don't see that too often in restaurants, gang. Not at all. I gave the place an A+. It's a joint, but anybody coming to the New Orleans area needs to go. It's in Jefferson. Anybody coming to the New Orleans area and they're looking for a good po' boy needs to go there. They need to go try. That's a real New Orleans joint right there. They need to go eat there. Point blank. You won't go wrong. Won't go wrong with getting those things. I'm gonna go back. Definitely. I don't go to eat too many places twice, but I am gonna go back over there. And the prices were fair. You gotta go eat there if you're coming into New Orleans. Just a word up. All righty, gang. So the last topic I wanted to go, and I know I'm running a little bit longer, but this topic won't take too. And look, Parenton's free water. And look, when I had food left over, I said, "Oh, you have a box to go?" No, they don't give you a box to go. They said, "We'll take care of that for you." They took my plate with my po' boy. They went in the back and wrapped it back up in the po' boy wrapping, like I would have had a fresh po' boy. Mrs. D would have never known it was even left over. Hi, Sean, how you doing? So Parenton's, you can't go wrong. Okay. Now let me go to my last topic. And this goes to the point of I go eat a lot of places. I every weekend I'm eating 2 or 3 places. And people say, "Well, you love crapping on." No, I don't like crapping on local places. I love local places like this place. But there's something I find that if I walk in and I see certain things, I know it's going to be good. Now, look, I'm going to talk about Bayou Delight again. The difference between a Parenton's and a Bayou Delight is 2 things. Well, one main thing. When I walked in Parenton's, Miss Brenda, the owner, said, "If you don't like my food, I'm going to buy it from you. And basically, I'm going to give you your money back. Your oyster po' boys are the best. If you don't like it, I'm going to give you your money back." I ordered oysters at Bayou Delight and other places. And you know what attitude I get sometimes? Well, what you expect the oysters to be. It's not the time to be eating oysters. You did wrong. You expect them to be. Now, you see the 2 differences? One place stands by their product. If you don't like my oysters, I'm buying them from you. Buying it back from you. The other place is, it's your fault. You ordered wrong. See? Owners and managers make a big difference. And all the places that a lot of places that I go eat at, and I always mention Sherry with Lee's Hamburgers, top-notch owner. She comes out, talks to the customers. Miss Brenda over there at Parenton's. Even I didn't give a good review to New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood. The owner contacted me and brought and made it good. These are owners that Sushi Masa. Even a place like that, the manager came out and made sure everything was good to our liking. The managers took care of it. Don't have to be an owner. It could be a good manager. The New Orleans style that I went to eat at recently in Covington was the same exact way. Those servers really cared and they wanted to make sure everything was good. Those are the difference makers, as opposed to the Bayou Delights, who it's my fault where I ordered wrong, or Empty Nest, where it serves me cold gumbo. And again, nobody orders gumbo right now. So, that's your fault. We don't warm up too much. Really? So I want gumbo. So I messed up because nobody else eats gumbo this time of year. So if I order gumbo, I'm going to get crappy gumbo that's cold with no seafood in it. So it's my fault, basically. Not your fault that you served me that crap. No, it's my fault. There's a place in Slidell. I can't think of the name right now that we went eat. You could watch my reviews. And me and Mrs. D went. Mrs. D's biscuit was hard as a brick. And I saw the owner walking around talking to all his friends. Did he ever come to our table? No. He sat right at the bar, right by me. Did he come say, hello, thanks for eating here? Hey, everything was good today? No. Ignored us. He didn't know us. He went all around to his other friends, that people he knew. He went say hello, see how was everything going. But me and Mrs. D ignored us like we're nobody. That's right, Sean. I agree. That's right. And if you're not serving enough to serve it well, then take it off your menu. If your restaurant is not serving enough at this time of the year that you say, well, it's too hard to keep warm or whatever stupid reason you have, and I always say, take it off your menu. Say, look, we don't have gumbo. We only serve gumbo in the winter. I've been to places where they say, look, we only serve soup in the winter. That's what they told me. Hey, no problem. I know they don't serve soup in the summer. We don't serve enough soup in the summer, so we only serve it in the winter. Fine. We don't serve enough gumbo in the summer, so we're only going to serve it. To me, gumbo is all year. I agree with you, Sean. I'll eat gumbo if it's 100 degrees. I'm going to be sitting in the air conditioner. I'm not going to eat outside. If you shouldn't order it, that's right. That's always my point, Gene. And that place in Slidell, that really teed me off with the owner just there, not doing something. We went to eat at a place in Baton Rouge, same exact thing. The owner goes talk to the people he wants to go talk to, but there was me and Mrs. D just sitting there having lousy food, and the owner never, ever, ever. I'm gonna make it there. They're closed on Sunday, so it's harder. It's hard to go to some of these places, Sean. That's on my list for sure. So that's, to me, that is the place in Slidell, Southern's Nola's Cafe. The server really cared about his job. Then a place, and look, I know some people like Southerns. I had a bad experience. No owner came check on me. No manager came check on me. I had a bone in my chicken tender. Nobody ever came around and asked how everything was or nothing else. Those things make a big difference. And if you go to a place like Parenton's, where you have Miss Brenda right behind the counter, she's going to make sure you get something good. If you have a problem, I'm sure she would make it good. Because I even heard her say, tell the workers, you bet serve some hot fries. Nobody, and Mrs. D would like that. I heard her telling the workers, the new workers, she said, make sure to serve hot fries. Nobody likes no cold fries. Make sure those fries are hot. That's that service right there. So, gang, that's the differences I see between bad places I go eat a lot. Now, there's some places I go and eat, and it's very, very good, and there's no owners around, obviously. And there's some places bad, and that don't. But I did not go yet back to Southern, Sean. I know I need to make. I'm gonna go back, and that's one of my regrets. I was talking about last week or the week before, I think it was. I've just been so busy with my class reunion, and really to have another chance to go. And I will go, because that is a place I want to go try again. That was one of my regrets. That I need to go back and try. So, gang, that was my whole point with the bad and the good. Just, if you're a restaurant owner, take that time. Come talk to you never know who your customers are. I look like nobody, and I am really, I'm just a normal person, and I just happen to do reviews. I like to do, and but I tell you what, if an owner comes talk to me, or a manager, or the employees go out of their way to come say, come talk to me, I guarantee you their grades would be a little bit better sometimes. They really would be, because I know they would take care of the problem. Good managers, good owners, and good workers. You don't have those three, man. Or you don't have one of those, then unfortunately, it's just there. All right, gang. I say about 30 minutes. I've been saying 30 minutes, but it's always about 35. 5 minutes won't kill us, right? Gang, I will be going eat at 2 places this week. I have a review coming up on I'll put up the one on Tuesday, probably Friday. I'll have a new one coming up at a place on the West Bank I'm going to talk about. Me and my granddaughter went there Sunday. I'm going to talk about it. And look, if you're watching later on or you're watching, late, whatever, but thank you, Sean. I don't know about world famous. Maybe I'm famous in Metairie area. They're not famous, but maybe people know me in Metairie. I don't know about world. I don't even know about Metairie. I don't even know about the Bayou, to tell you the truth. But anyway, look, gang, if you're watching right now or you're watching later on or whatever, I go to a lot of places. And that's my last thought I want to give you. I went to Parenton's. It was empty. I went to Rotolo's on this review. It was empty. Now the place I went with my granddaughter on Sunday, it's a fairly popular place, so that it was pretty busy in there. But most of the mom and pop shops or restaurants that I've been going to lately, unfortunately, have been empty. It's scary. We see what happened down the bayou at Happy Gardens. I'm sure that wasn't part of the reason. Maybe it was, because it was getting slow in there too whenever I'd go in there. But it's scary. Some of these restaurants, you hate for them to close, like Happy Gardens, like our local Chinese place, Happy Gardens. So these mom and pop shops really do need your support. Whether you go eat at a place I like or you have your own favorite place to go eat. Look, instead, if you're bringing your family out and then you're going to eat instead of going to Applebee's, nothing against Applebee's, but if instead of going to Applebee's or you're going to Chili's or something like that, go to a mom and pop place like Parenton's. You're going to get better food probably, and the prices are decent at a lot of these places. And sometimes it may be a little bit more expensive, but guess what? It's worth it. Because you're supporting these local restaurants and you don't want them to go under. Because then we won't have no place to eat. All we're going to have is chains. And we don't want that. We want good food. So that's why you see me do, it's every once in a while you see me do a Cracker Barrel because I got free food over there. But I really don't like to do reviews on chains too much. Sometimes I'll do a new one, just to do it because I know it would get popular, get a lot of views. So I'll go eat there, just for that reason. But other than that, I prefer to support mom and pop places. And it's scary for them. I know it is. Every time I walk in and I see an empty place, it's like, man, first off, it's uncomfortable for me to do a review in an empty place, but I feel for them. So, there's Mrs. D. She's starting to make noise back there. So that means it's time for me to get my butt to bed, Arrow Dufrene. Look, gang, we're going to be back on Sunday night. We're going to have a haunted Halloween October special episode. It'll be all about spooky Halloween. Well, I don't know about spooky. No, we're going to be talking to one of my classmates. I found out they live in a house that has spirits and is weird stuff's going. Hey, there's Lacey right there. Lacey, I was just talking about coming up Sunday. There you go. We're going to talk to Lacey right over here. I didn't know Lacey was watching. We're going to talk to Lacey about all the happenings that are happening at their house, all kind of paranormal activity going on there. Right, Lacey? You're still in, right? I was passing in front of your house today, me and my wife, and we saw where the house is. So, gang, support your local restaurant. That's okay. Support your local restaurants. Go eat. And I tell you what, I'm just going to end the show with the tribute to Happy Gardens one more time. You're going to be able to find it on Facebook after, but I'm just going to end it right here with the tribute, and I'm ending it. So I'll see y'all all Sunday. Join us for our after show chat. Lacey, who's in the chat over here, is going to be on the show. We'll have a good time talking to her and all about that. I think maybe her son may join us too. I'm not sure, 100% sure, but we're going to have fun doing that. And it'll be all Halloween themed, October themed on Sunday. And then I'll be back next week with another episode of Food Chat with HD. So here you go. Godspeed, Happy Gardens. We're going to miss you. Me and Mrs. D is going to miss you. Go and get our lunches over there. fairly priced, succulent Chinese lunches from Happy Garden. You guys take care, be safe, and eat well. Later. There are some places that you think will be around forever. Because of that mindset, you sometimes take them for granted. Happy Gardens Chinese restaurant in La Rose, Louisiana was one such place. Countless families and a whole generation of young people have grown up with Happy Gardens as a staple in their lives. Walking into Happy Gardens was like walking into a comfortable home. You'd walk in and you'd surely see someone that you haven't seen in forever. Some people went for the bountiful buffet offered. Others, like HD and Mrs. D, preferred the amazingly priced lunch specials offered, while others loved to order many different dishes for dinner. Whichever you chose, you knew Miss Linda would be there with a friendly smile and remember your name and make you feel like family. Countless pictures of generations of young ones line the wall near the register, making you feel even more at home. And as you walked in, there was a sign that was a gentle reminder to pull your pants up or you would get no service. People didn't want to believe the rumors on Monday, September 29th, that the place was closing. But before long, the news was confirmed. Happy Gardens closed forever on Sunday, September 28th. And never will anyone enjoy a succulent Chinese dinner there ever again. Godspeed, Miss Linda and the entire staff. Godspeed. And thanks for years and years of food and memories.